Is there much better as a mom than a slow Saturday morning with no plans, nowhere to be right away in the morning, where you can take it easy, sleep in if your kids allow it, and do a little self-care, make a fun breakfast, stay in your pajamas? I think that is my idea of the most fun time. This was one of those rare Saturday mornings where we did not have any sports or anywhere to go to, and I was looking forward to it so much. And I also work Sunday mornings. I work in the local church, so I get up early for that. I get up early during the week, and so Saturdays, I really appreciate it when I don't have to set an alarm and we don't have to get dressed, we don't have to get out of the house, and so we were taking full advantage of that today. I wanted to make a fun monkey bread. I wanted to do it in part just so that we had something for maybe a little brunch later, just something fun to snack on in the morning. And we were also going to go visit my grandma, and so I wanted to bring something yummy to her as well. Something I'm trying to do, because I do work so much on the weekdays. I get up early around 5:15, and then I also get up around the same time on Sundays. I really try to take Saturday as a day of rest. It doesn't always happen, like I said, but I at least try to take the time off of my social media. So my own personal social media, you can follow me over there at Daisy Lee Cartier on Instagram and TikTok at Daisy Lee Cartier. But I try to take a break from that, from any posting, and I also try to make sure that all my work is done for the church ahead of time, and so I don't have to plug into any of my devices, and I can just focus on my family, the housework, just taking time for me. I think it just truly refreshes our soul, and it's something that God is calling us to. He calls us to Sabbath, and for a long time I neglected that, and you could just feel the consequences of that and the weight of it. And so taking this time to unplug from the really urgent things, the things that seem to grab your attention at any notice where you get those notifications, take a breather from that for a day. Now, if it looks like I'm making 5 different breakfasts, it is because I am. Everybody wanted something different, and I just said it was fine. My son wanted oatmeal. My daughter wanted pancakes. I wanted an egg omelet. My husband wanted a burrito. And my other daughter, I can't remember what she ended up having. But I was also making the monkey bread. So a lot of different breakfast making, but it was a Saturday. We had time, and it was fine. On the weekday mornings, I almost always try to wake up early to read my Bible, read my devotionals, and do some sort of movement. And on Saturdays, I sometimes tend to do some movement, like walking or maybe some mobility work, but I tend to take the day off. And sometimes I feel guilty about it, but because I also take Sundays off typically. But I think 5 consistent days of workouts that I do, that is good. So having a goal for myself of at least 5 workouts a week. So if I missed one during the week, I can make it up on Saturday. But today I took it off, and then I do a more abbreviated version of my Bible time. So I will read my devotional, and then you'll see a little bit later that the study that I'm doing, the Bible study right now, actually has kind of a shortened, abbreviated version as well, where you read one of the Psalms and you really meditate on it. And so I love how they have that set up. Well, I'll tell you, first, it's from 1 Peter, the value of remembering people's names and doing that. Thanks to our inability to listen carefully or convince ourselves that we can just find them on social media. This is the Bible study I'm doing right now. It's from the Daily Grace Company. It is preparing our hearts for Easter. So it started at the beginning of Lent, and then it will end on Easter Sunday. So today is reading through Psalm 51. One thing that I miss doing is making sourdough. Now this is not sourdough. This was actually a mix that I found for the monkey bread. But I do miss doing sourdough every once in a while. It is such a process. It's not hard at all. It's very simple. On what? But the amount of time and planning and just, timing things out, you have to really dedicate the time to it. And you have to be home. Not fully the whole entire time, but you do have to know that you're going to be home at certain times to be able to do all the stretch and folds, the rising, all of it. So I would like to get back into it. Are you doing sourdough at all? Do you make anything fun? I always just made bread. Sometimes I would do some pizza crusts, but that was it. Maybe a cheddar and jalapeno loaf. I know my husband liked that, but maybe we'll get back into that eventually. But this was a nice substitute to kind of, help remind me of the sourdough making days that I was in. But it just really is relaxing, isn't it? I think the reason that I liked making sourdough so much is because we live in such a rushed society, and I am very rushed in getting my kids to sports, doing all my work, all of the things. And so finding an activity that forces you to slow down is really good for you. And so doing this on a Saturday when I am trying to slow down, I felt like it was the perfect activity. I know people like to do puzzles, like to read books. This was a fun thing to do. And I do enjoy baking. I'm not as into cooking, but I do like baking because I think I like to make things precise, and I think I excel more in that than what cooking entails. Now it was time to start getting ready. I promised my grandma that I would be there at a certain time, and I know she was looking forward to it so much. And so I started to get ready. Here is my skincare lineup right now. It's from Good Molecule. I start with a toner and then a hyaluronic acid serum, some puffy eye attack, and then a moisturizer. I also love this chapstick. A girl from our church, she owns this business with her father, and it is just the best. Yes, we're still making the monkey bread. It is a slow process, but you'll see later. It turns out so good. So right now I'm making the caramel topping, and then I'll be able to go ahead and bake it. This is the point in the morning where I started to feel a little bit rushed. I was going in between making the monkey bread, almost questioning, why am I doing this? And then also trying to get ready in time. So it wasn't a actual full day where I had absolutely nowhere to be. I told my grandma I'd be there at a certain time, so I felt like I had to. So I started to feel a little rushed, which I didn't love, but at least I had that time in the morning where I was able to take it a little slower. While that was baking, I was able to finish getting ready and doing my hair and all those good things. I didn't wash it this day. But then I also found this cute tank top from Old Navy, and I love that it has this high coverage. Okay, I am headed out. I'm gonna bring, I don't know, one of the kids to go see my grandma. She moved into a nursing home like a half an hour from here, which is actually closer than she used to be, so that's kind of nice. She's actually 91, so she's in a nursing home now. She doesn't love it, but it's good to be, it's good for her. And I have about like 12 more minutes, I think, on the monkey bread. I wanted to actually bring some to her to have. I don't know, I feel like I could never show up empty-handed. So I'm gonna get that. We're gonna go there, and then this afternoon I think we're gonna hang out with some friends. My son has hockey, so we're gonna go do all those things now, but I'm ready. I don't know if I like this tank top with this, but it's fine.
Oh, you're scaring them off.
Once this was done, it turned out so good. It smelled so good, and it was ooey gooey. We packed that up and we started traveling to go visit my grandma. I had my son come with me. He hasn't been able, he's helped her move in, but he wasn't able to visit with her since she moved here. And so we were able to take a little bit of time and just sit and talk and hang out for about 2 hours. Then we got a little lunch on the way and headed back to our house. And that wraps up our slow Saturday. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have the best day.